back. My name is Kit.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Streaming Things, streaming Severance. It's time for the finale, Cold Harbor.
Cold Harbor.
That's how we say
Steve
it.
is hot, Kit is hot, Andy's hot.
Oh my God.
Streaming Things.
Thank you for saying that, Andy, because Kit sent us this video of a guy who created lyrics for the Severance theme song, and it's been stuck in my head. Like every time I start the show now, it's like, Severance starts now.
Quiet part.
It's so funny.
It's good. It's excellent.
Yeah.
Apologies for not being here last week, but I'm here for the finale, baby. Quick, before I forget, it's very important. You can email the show at streamingthingspod@gmail.com. That's streamingthingspod@gmail.com. Submit your questions and thoughts on the finale. You're only going to have a day or two to email in before we record the mailbag. We haven't done one of those in a while because we're moving so quickly into new shows every time we end one now. But we are going to do kind of a summation and recap of what went down on Severance.
I feel like we have to.
The entirety of season 2, predictions for season 3, stuff like that. So send in your questions ASAP to be included in that.
Yeah.
And if you want your name to be read aloud, give us permission to do that and where you're writing from, that kind of stuff. That'll be fun. Over on the Patreon at patreon.com/streamingthings. If you want more streaming things, and you say it that way, that's fine.
Streaming things.
We got Midnight Mass in full swing. We just finished Arcane.
yes,
We're still
dude.
doing Game of Thrones, about to start season 5. A couple of bonus movies every month, all kinds of good stuff over there on the Patreon. So if you like the show and can and want to support it, that'd be wonderful. If you can't afford a patronage, that's completely understandable, especially in today's climate. You can rate and review the show on iTunes or Spotify or both. 5 stars preferably. If you feel less than 5 stars is necessary, maybe just think about it. Don't do it. You know what I mean? I think that would be the best.
Just think about it. Think about your choices.
Yeah. Just email the show and let us know how you feel, but no need to put it out
Let's
there.
not air our dirty laundry out in public.
A lot of people have been. I'm just saying happy people should do it more. Those are the business news. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about our overall thoughts on the finale, do a scene-by-scene, play-by-play recap, and then obviously we got to talk about our Kier's 3 mandates, our top 3 favorite moments of the finale.
Kier chosen ones.
And give somebody one last waffle party
Who's getting the waffle party?
for the best performance of the episode. At least until season 3, it'll be the last waffle party we give.
Oh, man.
It's the end of the quarter, guys.
Waffles for the road. Yeah, who gets E of the Q?
Personally, I think you guys should get E of the Q.
No.
I think for the first time ever, 2 people should share that role as
E's of the
refiners
Q,
of the quarters. Yeah. To celebrate the fact that you guys have done such a great job covering Severance. I think, in my opinion, 5 stars from me.
No.
I've decided to gift you all something.
Is that what this is?
That's what Kit is referring to, a bag that is next to him. There is the
what?
bag. I'm going to turn on Madison's mic so I can go over there and reveal what it is. If you guys will vamp for me while I do that.
We're
absolutely.
staring at a rather large, I don't know. It's rotund.
Midnight blue with some starry sky.
I do appreciate
pattern.
the bag itself. Yeah, it looks like what the Goblet of Fire is transported in between tournaments.
fire.
I did not put my name in there, so don't yell at me if that happens.
We've just been trying to pretend this isn't here.
Is this
the
a
whole
carved watermelon head of Madison or something? Oh,
Oh,
the Eggbar is coveted as
What?
fuck.
wow.
Are those blackberries?
Those are fancy
Those
eggs,
are
my dude.
blackberries.
I love deviled
What
eggs.
the fuck?
So what you see in front of you are deviled eggs for our very special boys. We've got normal deviled eggs, and we've got some deviled eggs that were pickled in beet juice, so they're purple, but they also contain a filling that is curry based, so it has a curry flavor. So just giving you a heads up before you eat that, the purple ones are curry
spicy.
flavored. And yes, there are blackberries for some panache. These were made by our very own Erica.
Can I have one?
Of course, they're for you guys. Your waffle party will commence at end of day, but in the meantime, I've ordered the pre-waffle party Eggbar social for everyone because you all deserve this for reaching quota this quarter.
What is this little green thing, and do I eat it?
It's
You
a
can't eat
garnish.
it. It's just a garnish.
Garnishes are always edible.
I'm going to eat the garnish.
I'm trying not to chew on the
Pretty
mic, but
color.
this tastes coveted as fuck.
Which one did you get? Did you get a purple one?
No, I'm not going to go straight purple.
Oh, you got to work yourself up to it.
I'm going to eat a blackberry as well.
There you go. Nice palate cleanser.
Now you vamp because I'm chewing.
Erica and I, well, mostly Erica, she spent all night getting all that stuff ready because we had this idea a couple months ago that whenever season 2 of Severance ends, we would make an egg bar for you guys. And, that was before egg prices went up. So this truly is coveted as fuck.
Now it really is.
That was delicious.
It's so
I had
good.
the purple curry one.
Erica is so amazing. Here's the thing. What's funny about this, and this is so amazing, is we were supposed to interview a very, very famous, very illustrious guest today. That's being kind of figured out and rescheduled. And that's why we were meeting today anyway. But I told Steve, hey, let's just go ahead and record the finale a couple days early. And I didn't know, of course, that he had planned on with Erica making these Eggbar. So he's like, okay. And then I was like, hey, actually, we might not. We'll see how my night goes, And he's like, I really got to know, man. I really got to. I'm like, why?
I'm going to the grocery store right now. I need to know.
What the fuck does it matter? Just trust me, it matters. And I'm like, okay, let's do it then. So anyway, we are here. So we just watched the finale, all three of us last night. I think Steve probably watched it again this morning because it's the kind of studious man that he is. We've got a lot to talk about. We hope you guys feel good about it, but who knows? We're going to do our overall thoughts right now. I'm so excited. Andy called me this morning and he's like, all right, no spoilers, but like, how'd you feel about the finale? And I was like, I'm not telling you. That's a spoiler.
Oh,
Calling me out. Dang.
But Andy,
Yeah.
now that we're here, buddy,
Oh, we're here.
how'd you feel about the finale?
I have super conflicting feelings about this finale. Obviously, I'm pretty frustrated because I didn't get definitive answers for a lot of things that I thought that I was going to. We got some answers, but I still have a lot of questions, and I feel like much smarter Severance people are going to pick up on a lot of the context clues of the things that are revealed and kind of be able to carry the idea forward and understand what everything means. But I'm just sitting there like, duh, Severance good show.
put that on a box, like a DVD box set of Severance.
The show makes me feel dumb sometimes, for sure. But anyway, I think that we are experiencing something historic with television. I think that when the three of us are cold and dead, people are still going to be studying this show. And I'm trying to maintain the point of view that's important to have is that this is the finale of season 2. So of course I'm not getting all the answers to everything because the show is mysterious and important. And yeah,
Very true.
They can't reveal everything yet. They can't play all their cards. So I understand that. I think that I love the fucking way that this episode played out. They did so many fun and interesting things that only the show can do by virtue of how it works. And so there are moments that are like some of the coolest, like, oh, fuck, you went there, like moments ever. But part of me is just like, oh no, it's over. And I still don't know about this. And I don't know about that. And I really hope that it's not going to be as long of a wait as before. I don't know if this finale hit quite as hard as the finale for season 1, but it still hit fucking hard. And I had a great time with it. Steve, what'd you think?
Well, when it comes to the finale for season 2 of Severance, my thoughts are fucking incredible. I love this episode. Like, this might be the episode. I don't know if it's my favorite one, but it damn sure is maybe the closest to. Like, it's definitely the most. It's the richest, I think, episode we've gotten of Severance. Meaning, like, in terms of everything they put in there is everything you love about Severance. Just on full display. Like, oh, you love when Milchek had a cool dance party that episode? Well, we gave him marching band. Here we go. Oh, you love Dylan saying, fuck you, Mr. Milchek? He's there. Oh, you like it when outies and innies get along? That happens. You like more like mysteries being expanded upon and answered, but then more mysteries opening up? Here it is. Beautiful soundtrack, callbacks to other, cinematic properties. This episode really had everything I wanted from it. I mean, I understand some people are going to be frustrated that not every single mystery has been answered. But that's not how mystery box shows work. Like the thing that I wanted to know, that I wanted them to achieve when sitting down and watching this episode, is like they have to figure out, are they getting Gemma out of there or not? And because that was the season, that was the heart of this season, is Gemma's down there, how do we get her? And they got her out, but they did it in a way that leaves it, oh, what's going to happen next? They got her out, but now Mark's stuck in there. What does that mean for the rest of the show? And I think that is a successful season 2 because it leaves you wanting more. I felt satiated enough because I mean, one of my favorite shows ever is Lost, and that's like the biggest mystery box show of all time, with very frustrating, like, are we ever going to know what that fucking polar bear was about? Come on, it's been 6 seasons. I think the creators of this show have a very clear idea where they're going, a very clear direction. And like, this is confident filmmaking. You can feel it dripping off the script. You can feel it dripping off the screen when you watch it. They have a direction. I just loved everything about this show in particular. The performances were outstanding. The cinematography was outstanding. I think this season finale was a 10 out of 10 for me. But Kit, what do you think?
I agree with you 100%. I mean, both of you.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't experience really any frustration whatsoever because, like Steve said, I think there are season-long arcs, and a really good show has the same way that a movie has beats that become scenes, that become sequences, that become acts, that become the entire film. A great show has episodes that tell a contained story that cycle into a season-long arc, and then of course a really good show that's planned rarely from inception. They have an endpoint they want to get to, has an entire satisfying arc as well. And I think that Severance does that. Like, the first season has this really great story about the Ennies realizing something's up, realizing that Gemma's alive, and fighting back and trying to get access to the OTC procedure and reaching the outside world. Mm-hmm. And that was completed with like so many questions left unanswered, a major cliffhanger, but an arc satisfied, a place that we got to. Whereas season 2 is all about the rescue of Gemma, and we got there. Now, there's so many questions left unanswered because the show's not fucking done. Mm-hmm. But wow, did we get an excellent telling of that particular story. I was watching this last night, and I'm like so engaged in certain things, like the Mark talking to Mark and the way that they shot that was
so fucking cool.
It's such a fascinating idea. But there was a point toward like the kind of third act of this show where there's a very big surprise in a comical way where things just really ramp up out of nowhere.
Best moment on TV in fucking forever.
It is. It truly is.
It was so good.
I'm not being hyperbolic when I say that it's one of my favorite things I've ever seen. My notes are just like 17 ha's in all caps because I couldn't contain myself. It was so fucking amazing. I think this is an incredibly satisfying show, and it definitely won't be as long. I mean, the world's crazy, and we might all be dead, but
the strike
was a major impetus for why it took so long for season 2 to come out. And you know, obviously we don't have that right now. So and things are cooking.
Also, I think the show really hit its stride in terms of like pop culture popularity and entering the zeitgeist this season. It didn't quite reach that hurdle at the end of season 1, whereas like everyone's talking about the show now.
Yeah.
And so Apple's very much more going to be like, let's go. Let's get this rolling. Let's do this.
It's their Stranger Things or whatever, you know, this is their big money.
We didn't need to, in case of emergency, break the Ted Lasso glass, but we did it anyway.
No, I was going to say, and they're bringing Ted Lasso back, which is really funny. I wasn't here last week, and I loved last week's episode mostly, but I did have more major criticisms about last week's episode than I've ever had before, which I got a lot of shit for on my other platforms. But I did personally, apparently none of you guys felt this way, but I did think it was really, the writers had put themselves in a corner by having Cobell and Mark meet up. Just in general, that's a puzzle that needs solving, because you have a character that wants to know everything desperately and a character that knows everything, and you put them together and you have to find a clever way to not reveal that to an audience. And I don't think they did that. I think they did it very clumsily by just having them hang out for 7 hours and not speak in front of us, you know, and because of Patricia Arquette's diction when she's portraying Cobell, it was extra comically frustrating watching her speak so slowly. and
Mock.
only answer things that we knew. And it kind of makes sense based on how her character is, but it mostly just felt like I could see the writer's room being coy with us as the audience. It was a tiny criticism, but it was like in this show that's damn near perfect. I feel like it just stood out extra.
I think on the pod last week, I had mentioned that I feel like people would be frustrated by that, but I was arguing that the real emotional weight is the conversation between Cobell and Any Mark, and that's what they like ended on. Like, we're gonna have those two characters do it, which kind of happened. It was mostly like happened really through Outie Mark, but I still think the emotional weight of the reveals happening between those two characters was much more gratifying than if Cobell was like, we're in the woods and this is the thing. In the moment, I totally understand why someone would be frustrated, but like, I think they held their card for maximum damage.
No, 1,000%. And like, that's why I said I could see the writer's room, because obviously it doesn't make sense for anything to be really revealed out there in the woods with Devin. You know, I'm not a better writer than these people, but I just felt like there was a different way they could have maybe sold it. Like if she had been like, I can't tell you, it wouldn't make any sense. I have to show you.
I've got to tell him
something. Yeah. Like there was like, okay, you know, they just kind of just said,
call into work sick. Say you've got the runs.
Well, I actually loved that scene. But anyway, I really felt like I didn't feel anything like that with this finale. And we'll get to the finer points through the recap. I just felt like everything that needed to be buttoned up and answered was, and because of the show being the way that it is, some crazy philosophical possibilities were explored and toyed with. And so much was left open to explore. It's going to be, honestly, season 3 predictions are going to go crazy because things are definitely different now.
Yeah. And I love the way the show like took a pretty big mystery, answered it maybe 80% of the way, but like expanded upon it in a much larger, like in season 3, like, oh, there's a grand plan. What does the grand plan mean?
The grand agendum.
The grand agendum. Like they're operating on like a bigger scale than we even thought possibly. And I just love how they solve like, what are the numbers for? What are the different rooms that Gemma's in? And then that just kind of like organically led to this even bigger mystery. That's kind of like, oh wow, we had it all wrong. This is even bigger than all of us.
Can I say my favorite part of the finale?
Of course.
It's not a specific scene. I don't want to offend anybody. You have to understand how I navigate the online and fandom spaces is a very contentious way, and it's not my fault. It's because people harass me. But my favorite thing is that...
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Hallie's not pregnant. Devin doesn't work for Lumon or is otherwise severed in some way. And Irving was never reintegrated. And you can all suck my balls because you were really fucking mean to me about all that. And I was right.
Just wait for the immediate response.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be like, we don't know yet for
we
sure.
don't know. Yeah.
I don't think it's coming.
Yeah, season 3, the first episode is like, Hallie's like, I'm preggers.
I just feel really good about that, you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have even gloated at all if everybody wasn't like, this fucking guy stinks. A lot of that's fun, but some people were just really super confident and mean about it. And those are the people that I'm talking to.
Yeah. It's fun to be like, wouldn't it be cool if, or, oh, I think this could happen. Yeah. But when you're just like, I solved Severance, everybody, it's like, fuck off.
Well, there's a lot of guys and gals, a lot of people is what I meant to say, that backed it up with like some analysis and evidence. And we're still wrong ultimately about certain things. But when they were walking me through their videos and stuff, I was like, oh, I could see that, you know. But then there's other things that are just a surprise for surprise sake that people were predicting. But anyway, I do want to talk about, I'm really excited to hear from you guys about what you think is going on here now that we know some things that we know. But I want to save that for after the recap because there's some things I'm definitely not clear on that I'm excited to get your perspective on. Before we do any of that, though, we got to take a brief break to hear from one of our sponsors. We're back. We're going to do the recap. But first, what Apple TV Plus describes in general as far as what goes down. I wish it had just said season finale because that's how it starts.
Yeah.
Season finale. And I would have laughed. But it says Mark forms a shaky alliance in an all or nothing play while the team makes a dangerous last stand. It's funny because reading that before I pressed play, I thought they meant a shaky alliance with Cobell, and it might. But I also think it means a shaky alliance with himself, the Any.
Yeah.
Yeah,
which is really neat. It's so funny.
I like that.
Only in the show could you have a guy argue with himself in such a compelling, crazy way.
Yeah, it's so good. But also, there's no more dangerous of a last stand than against a marching band. Just throwing that out there. All my band kids, you know what it's about.
We found out about
y'all crazy.
How many new departments are we going to discover?
I know. We got choreography and merriment.
I love that their whole deal is that they're just jamming all the time for years.
Yeah, it's
I
like
want to
40
be
or
in that
50
department,
people.
dude.
That's part of what I know I said we'd save it for the end, but my mind is fucking blown because what it looks like is going on does not require anyone else to be severed. And that's what's blowing my mind.
Yeah.
Why are they severed?
Well, because they're on the severed floor. It's the top secret floor.
Yeah, it's just
and anyone that
mysterious.
goes
Put him on
down
a different
there,
floor.
Well, they have to keep him there so he doesn't
Just
escape.
have Drummond go get the goat from a normal goat trainer.
No, you need the Lumon goats.
You know what
so
I
they
mean?
got that wild on that verve. You know what I'm saying?
Just
a
hire
regular.
a marching band.
If you ask a regular goat farmer, does this one have wiles? Does it have verve? He's gonna be like,
Yeah, man.
well, he's got 4 legs.
No, he's going to want to upsell that goat. He wants to make a sale. So oh, hell yeah, it does.
Boy, he's got built-in Wi-Fi that'll help you close his deal.
I'll tell you what, this goat has been listening to the Verve all day.
Bittersweet
It's
symphony.
bittersweet symphony.
Laugh.
It starts the way that 2 major episodes have ended. She's alive. And I laughed. But we're right back. We're right back in where we left off at the end of 9, which was very satisfying.
I think it begins the same way the season began, because the season began with that sound hit too.
Really?
She's alive.
They just
Because
love-
then they picked up
This is
there.
the well
Well,
of Severance.
It also
alive.
it begins with the title sequence, which I think is the first and only time they've done that.
There's usually a Cold Harbor opening. Exactly. But this went right into
Nice.
the title sequence. And Cobell asks, have you finished Cold Harbor? He's very confused. So where the fuck am I? And Devin's there like, it's cool.
you're in a cabin for giving birth. Why am I here?
You're pregnant. It's just,
It wasn't Helly. It was you the whole time.
that's the plot twist of this show. And so they find out she is alive because he has not finished Cold Harbor yet. Oh, cool. We can save her, right? And again, he's still very confused. He tells her about Irving's drawings because she kind of describes the dark hallway. And she's so like confused and intrigued about that.
We know where it is.
He's like, oh, what?
Mm-hmm.
Then we cut briefly to Helly and Papa. Remember, last time we left her, it was Annie Helly and James Egan down there on the severed floor.
You tricked me.
One of the, again, I'm not mocking anybody. I just think it's, when you take it a step further is where this stuff gets silly. But one of the big theories from last week is that was Helena again.
Yeah.
And people were talking about how the elevator ding was a different timbre. That's how they were convinced, right?
Yeah.
The reason that doesn't make any sense, and if you think about it for more than a second, don't focus on like dings and do's.
Dings and do's.
Why would Helena be down there memorizing the directions to something she definitely knows where it is?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. And the dings and do's have been, ever since the Helena reveal, they haven't been consistent either. So,
Yeah, you've always been a proponent of fuck the dings and do's.
yes.
They don't
Fuck
mean what
the
you-
dings and do's. They mattered for 4 episodes. Everywhere else, they don't matter. But I love James Egan. Like, you have a fine speech. I was so mad I threw a tin of candy.
Dude, he's such... James Egan's performance is like a distilled version of what Steve is going for when he does a silly character
Yes.
on streaming thing. You know what I mean?
That's 100% what I'm channeling when I do Dr. Brenner from Stranger Things. It's like, I threw a tin of candies.
What a funny speech you gave at the party.
God, you're fucking weird. Like, I love that line delivery.
So cross.
Because she's literally the audience in that moment. Like, oh my gosh, dude, what is your deal?
I do not love my daughter.
I love that she just immediately grabs a weapon. She's just like,
But it's like a felt pen. It's not even a pen, I think. Isn't it like
mean-
one of those marker pens?
oh, I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, if you really went hard and got through the felt to the plastic, you could do some damage.
I
maybe.
mean, I feel like a stiff breeze could do some damage to that guy at this point.
I used to see Kier in her, but he left her as she grew.
I sighted others in the shadows,
We found that out last week.
but he wasn't there either. So I
he-
imagine he like has a baby. He's like, Kier, you in there? And like rattles the baby around.
Oh, fuck.
Come on out, Kier.
Oh, he's dead.
Ah, this one's useless, and just chucks it behind him.
Time for skin to skin. But he says, I saw him again and you. So he prefers any Helly over his daughter. And here's what I love about this. This is fucking genius, I think. We'll see where it goes. because of the ending of this episode, everything we like about the show is upended, and it's hard. Like, we thought it would be impossible to go back to the office after season 1. What the fuck are we gonna do now?
Yeah.
It makes no sense for any Helly to even exist after this episode, except they've set this up that he like prefers her and sees Kier in her. So that's how we have the character of any Helly persisting after this finale this way. And I'm like, genius. Done. Next.
Yeah, this is such a well-written episode. Like, even the whole season, the whole show is so well-written. Like, there are things that come up in this episode. I'm like, oh, that's such great writing, because that's how they get through that door and stuff, like small shit like that. The
blood?
It's great. Well, the more like Drummond's body just blocking the elevator from closing.
Yeah, there's so many little tight things. Chekhov's body, Chekhov's blood.
Genius.
Yeah.
It's great. But he says tomorrow is a special day because he knows Cold Harbor will finally be completed. But he's been promised that every day for like 3 days. Seriously, though.
I really hope.
I will throw so many candies if it doesn't go down.
Is Santa here?
It's Christmas Eve. Tomorrow is a special day.
That's Dr. Mauer. I want to go to the Christmas room.
It just hangs out in there. They do a test. Wait, my note doesn't make any sense.
Mark,
they do a test and they kill her.
It cuts back to Mark. He's saying, when I finish Cold Harbor, they do a test and kill her, confirming.
But they walk through the plan and they're going to have to work together, Any and Outie Mark. So he'll go in as an Outie, obviously the severed floor. He'll become Any Mark, who then has to go get to the dark hallway after completing Cold Harbor. So he has to actually complete Cold Harbor and then hurry before they kill her to rescue her. But down on the testing floor, he will be Outie Mark again.
Yeah.
And then he'll come back out, become Any Mark, and Miss Casey have to escort her to and then they leave through the staircase. So it's this crazy like reverse heist where Any and Outie have to work together. And it's really fucking cool. It's like the culmination of the coolest video game of all time. And like, oh, nice. I get to be both characters. Yeah. And you're escorting Natalia, who's just going to run into the wall and be like, fuck. I'm invincible.
Nice.
So, yeah.
That was good.
They have to communicate together. I love this twist, though, because you're like, okay, bing, bang, boom, bing, bang, boom. You're just an Any. Here's what we got to do. But then Any Mark, hold up. What happens to us? And Devin and Cabell, nobody had thought of that because they're prejudiced against Any's, right?
I forgot, you're people too.
Are you though? Like, it's a great philosophical question, but of course, Mark's perspective, Any Mark is, yes, I am. I'm definitely a person.
Yeah, all the Outies are like, you'll be fine because you'll come out of the elevator and you're Mark again.
Yeah.
You're okay.
Exactly. And he's like, so you want me to give my life?
And everyone's life? On
for
the
this person
floor?
that you guys like?
Yeah, for this one person
so
you care
good.
about. It's so good. Because that's like, you didn't, even as the audience, you're the asshole. Because you're like, well, yeah.
They're real people. Wait.
And then Devin says, I think it's Cabell, it doesn't have to end your life. So then someone else wants to talk to you, which of course is Outie Mark. He's recorded his response.
Oh my God. What did you guys like have any sort of reaction when she was like, someone else wants to talk to you and opened the door? Like, because I was like, oh, they're going to talk to each other. Like, I geeked out so hard.
No, I'm dumb as shit. I was like, who?
Milkshake?
Seth walks in like, hello, I brought a pineapple.
Well, it would have been a good opportunity for someone else joining the team as a lesser show. It would have been, you know what I mean?
The Avengers.
Fucking Rickon.
It's me. It's me, Petey. I'm okay. I know no one knows the inside of that place better than me.
Yeah, that's lost, right?
Yeah, that's 100% lost.
It's Petey. Actually, yes. Like that would have people would have fucking loved that. His best friend. You know
Yay!
what I mean? I've been alive this whole time.
That would have been kind of dramatic though, because any Mark would be like, oh my guy.
Regabi and I are married now.
Regabi comes out. I've been wanting to meet you, Mark.
And she's pregnant.
It wasn't Helly.
Congratulations. Weird show. Yeah, so he's got to watch the video of Outie Mark, then record his response. And it's a great scene because it escalates. At first, it shows them recording and going back and forth. And finally, it becomes this edited together conversation because they're skipping the bits a little bit. And it's just them talking back and forth.
I love the way this exchange starts because he sits down with the camcorder, Any Mark, and he plays the first message from Outie Mark, and just his face lights up because it's like that's.
Yeah. Oh shit, that's me.
That's my dude. That's my Audi. That's the guy who dresses me every morning. But I mean, that's got to be such a complicated thing to go through. But I love how they had that before the conversation leads to where it ultimately is going to lead to. I just love that little moment of like, my guy, my buddy, that's my other half, me. And even Audi Mark himself is like,
holy shit,
no shit, oh my god.
Yeah, he was so excited to see Audi Mark. It was, and it's such a touching moment. I would have 100% fucked this up because he's got to walk outside. I would have forgot the camera and been like, like, no way I got this right on the first try like he did. But Mark says that he's sorry for doing this for him, you know, and he presses record and it goes really well at first. But he starts to miss. At some point, the conversation turns, and he's like, "How can?" And he has every right to not trust Audi Mark after what happened to he's seen Audi Heli.
Yeah,
this stuff doesn't go well for them, and
they don't have a good track record with Audis.
Wait a second, assuming you're telling the truth, this still fucks me. And he's trying to explain reintegration to him, which he doesn't even fully understand. Which he's right. He's completely full of shit by saying, "Yeah, then we'll both be alive, buddy." And he's like, "Wait."
Yeah.
Is this a top bottom situation?
It's going to be like way more you than it is
this
me.
Like right side, left side, top bottom situation? And he's like,
well, statistically speaking, there are more bottoms than tops. So I guess you would be the top and I would be the bottom.
And I'm like a power bottom though.
Yeah. I mean, we got that going for me.
And my note is, there is tension, because the idea that him talking to himself, there's so much tension in this conversation is such brilliant television. And so Mark tries a different tactic, and we get a little bit of backstory that I don't think we've gotten before, that he got fired from teaching for drinking like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is where he makes a mistake. Miss Cabell told me you like someone down there.
Helene?
Oh yeah.
I'm glad you got to experience that. But like, imagine what you felt, but like multiplied by thousands of days. What I care about is more important than what you care about, right? This is totally not a good tactic, right?
Yeah.
And then Mark turns on him, and he Mark Heli actually, which if you'd ever taken an interest in my life before you needed something.
Mm-hmm. And a little earlier in the conversation, Annie Mark says something along the lines of like, you describe my life as a nightmare. That's not the right word. Like, it's not perfect, but we make it our own. And I think that's a big part of where this episode goes, is the Audis are like, yeah, we just have half a life, but it's our life. And
the innies.
Or the innies, yeah. We're going to fight for it.
Yeah, because that's even the quote unquote good people. And this is I might be getting too, and I'm not the person to talk about this, look at me, but there's a kind of how Get Out was this indictment of like liberal racism and microaggressions.
Yeah.
It kind of felt that way here with the way that these like Devin and Audi Mark, like, we're so sorry what happened to you. But also, like, your life's clearly not as important. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like they're not as bad as Drummond and James, but there's an insidious prejudice underneath their underlying thinking and approaching this whole situation.
Yeah, he's still being othered by them.
Exactly. Like, yeah, but obviously, like, your shit doesn't matter as much.
Like me and my wife, that's a real thing. You and Helene aren't a real thing.
Exactly.
Because you're not real people.
And he's like, well, she's the person I'd lose. She won't reintegrate, assuming that's even real. And then Audi Mark starts to kind of like, dude, because again, like, he's so close to saving his wife, and I get his perspective too. Like, listen, fucker, like,
yeah, I need my wife.
So the Annie flips out. Cobell wants to speak to him at this point. She's like, let me talk to him alone.
I love can't you just trust me? No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like,
of course not.
Imagine the panic you would feel at that point as Audi Mark. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. What do you mean? I'll beat your ass, dude. Wait,
I love how he's still on the porch, but the doors are open. He's like, Devin, he's a child.
He's being a dick.
He's being mean to me.
So Cobell's tactic is to tell him some exposition, some answers for the audience at this point, right? Like, the numbers are your wife. And like, this was spot on to, we kind of figured this one out. Mm-hmm. Everybody did over time. It's labeled there on the computer, but like, it was great to hear. Mm-hmm. Woe, frolic, malice, dread. And I love the cross dissolves or whatever it is to
the dancers,
the waffle party dancers. Mm-hmm. And she says that the clusters are her tempers. Every file you've completed is a new consciousness for her, a new any. And he's like, I've completed 24 files. Yes.
Cold Harbor will be the last.
Tomorrow is his final day. So basically,
and I love that she tells him this. This is I think this works so well that this is how she brings Ingemar back into the fold. Because if you remember in season 1, he point blank asked her, "What do the numbers do? What are the numbers for?" And I can't remember if that was the same scene she threw something at him or not, but.
I'm going to throw a coffee cup at you if you don't leave.
But that hurt me more than it hurt you.
Yeah.
That might not be the same scene, but he did ask her point blank what the numbers were for, and she refused to tell him. So her being like, hey, numbers of this is a good way for him to be like, wait, what? Like to kind of center him in the conversation.
It's an offering, but also it's harsh reality. Hey, I understand that you don't want to do this, but tomorrow's your last day at Lumon no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either help us take them down, or you can just die for no reason at all. But either way, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And then he tells her, what are you doing here really? Which is good because we as the audience don't really know. Like, what are her motives?
Mm-hmm.
We know that they've kind of pissed her off and pushed her away. She's got lots of resentments about her mother. And maybe she's capable of being reverse indoctrinated. Doctrinated? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, set free? I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't say this last episode, but I made a note of it and I forgot to say it. I've been kicking myself for a week because I wanted to make the joke that Cobell is the Magneto to the Innie's X-Men, where they work together sometimes, but she's the main antagonist, I think, for them in a weird way. I don't know. So I kind of get this thing.
Yeah,
where,
for the like dynamic of the relationship that totally fits.
Yeah.
It does. I like that.
They have
So
like
Mark is
similar goals.
Wolverine.
Yes.
Obviously, Helly's Storm.
I don't think it
Because she
tracks.
brings the storm.
Dylan's Gambit.
The name's Dylan. Remember it.
But she tells him, you're not going to have a honeymoon ending. Helen is an Egan, you're nothing to them. And then he wigs out again. The next thing I see had better be the fucking severed floor. And it is.
That's fucking fire.
Yeah.
Great transition.
Did you catch when he's storming out and Cobell says like, Mark, I care for you.
Yes.
Like, you're like my Professor X and I'm your Magneto, Mark. These are references you would get if you read a comic book.
The only thing that analogy falls apart on is like,
She wasn't in a concentration camp.
yeah, the only thing. No. But I mean, like the X-Men's actually a great analogy in the sense that like that show was really about people being othered and racism and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's a weird word to put in stuff after. And she's very much not like the hardcore free the people person that Magneto is.
That's
right.
True. That's true. Yeah.
But I do understand what you're saying about the antagonist metaphor there. And it's an interesting dynamic that they have.
This is like Severance Days of Future Past. She's becoming that person,
Sure. It's true. There's an epic new painting of all of them.
Whoa.
O&D whipped that together quickly.
Yeah, they did.
Speaking of woe, it's Woe's Hollow.
Yeah.
Even Rickon's in there. Like
literally everyone's in there. Yeah. The doubles are in there from Woe's Hollow.
They're up top.
The ghost lady of Woe is in there. It's fucking wild.
Yeah. I want that on my wall. I think we should put that in the studio.
The 3 MDRs are in there. Rickon's friends are in there. Rebecca's in there.
The subs?
Yeah, the subs are in there.
It's interesting. Rebecca? Why is Rebecca in there?
What's the other guy's name? The one who's like, I found the child. He's in the very back.
Oh, yeah,
I forgot that guy.
Yeah, they're in the very back left group.
Interesting. But Helly comes out after Mark comes out of the elevator. They embrace. They both say they have to tell each other something because they do have some crazy stuff to talk about. The lights get crazy, and Milchick has designed it to lead them to MDR. Like, come on.
Come this way.
No more fucking around.
Come down this hall.
And then the Kier Egan like mannequin wax statue is in there holding a note from Mark from Milchick. The founder wished to witness the completion. Heliar shall also witness from her chair. Love, Mr. Milchick. And then there's like a little pop out waffle.
I love the whole time Helly's looking around like his eyes are following me. Like I love that one little shot. So good.
It is creepy. Shout out Mark Geller, his likeness. I zoned out because when I was getting harassed for saying I was a little disappointed in the episode 9, I did get another DM from Mark, who Kier himself. I appreciated your video, just so you know. I thought it was fascinating. And I was like, thanks, buddy. I said, praise Kier.
I love you.
It was a voice text, but it was Keanu Reeves doing it. It's weird. And then the computers turn on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Take that, stumbling for the switch, people. They could just turn those on the whole time.
Yeah,
Let Hallie fumble.
Yeah, those assholes. What the fuck? I just love how this is the moment in the episode where I'm just kind of like, I'm so in. Like I was already like in, but this is the moment that I'm like, I'm not moving from this leaned in position for the rest of the episode because this is so weird and fascinating. And I love it.
I had set up like some sunflower oil tuna and like veggie chips and cheese squares and shit. I was eating
A charcuterie board.
a little bit. And at this point, I'm like, I can't. There's no snacking. Hands on the keys, eyes on the screen.
Don't even look at me.
Don't
snacks.
fuck around.
In hindsight, I wish that I had just watched it and then gone back and rewatched and taken my notes then. You know what I mean? Just
That's
like
the play, man.
to feel it as it's happening. Cause I'm like pausing, rewinding, you know, tick, 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 and yeah.
Ticker. Slim Shady.
That's why I have to do it the way I do it because I feel like most of the time when I'm taking my notes, I'm not even looking at the screen at this point. I'm just listening to it.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
We got too much shit going on.
Next season,
That's
next
true.
year,
I just let Steve do it.
call my shot.
But Helly says to him, Jamie Egan was here. Today is a special day.
He said some cryptic shit about the fire of Kier being inside me.
Yeah. And Mark says, I know why. Because what he has to say is that he knows exactly what's going down, right? It's interesting, too, because we know that there's like the proto MDR people are down below watching them through their monitors. Is there not audio? Because you think a Maurer would have been like, red flag.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, well, it's fine. It's the only little.
They're probably like, it's that whole thing where they're just so in control and they're so close. They're like,
Yeah, because nothing's ever gone wrong before with him thinking that.
evacuate now in our moment of triumph. He just General Tarkins it down there.
Yeah, it's a trap. Different guy.
You overestimate their chances.
Milchick he's coming in hot with the light clicker, turn on his little light shows off now. Dylan shows up. He meets him at the elevator.
Ooh.
And I got a lot of comments too. Like, I can't believe they let Dylan quit. And it's like, guys, we know that the way that it works is that they can fill out a resignation form and the Audis always decline.
Yeah.
So I never thought I wasn't going to see Dylan in this episode, but he pops out and he said no, because he's shocked to even be there. He wanted to basically off himself. This is the any equivalent of what he's trying to do here. It shows this plaque briefly right after you see Dylan. It says the exalted victory of Cold Harbor.
That's the name of the painting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Dylan sees the painting and is kind of like, what the fuck? I don't have time for that.
Got way too much surprise. Where's Gretchen? We cut to Gemma opening her closet, and what they have given her is the coat she was wearing the night that she left, the last time she saw Mark.
She recognized that shit.
Ice cold harbor, dude. And then we cut to Annie Mark. How can we trust Cobell? Or that's what Helly says. And Mark's like, I mean, she was different. She was the same, but she was like different, same.
Kind of like this. It's kind of like that time you became Helena for a couple weeks.
Right?
The design of his bloodshot eyes is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't been sleeping.
And Mark says, I could just not do it, referring to completing Cold Harbor. And then Helly's like, well, if she's telling the truth, we're screwed either way. Right? This whole setup between the two of them and his commitment to saving Gemma involves also saying goodbye to the person that he loves.
Yeah.
Which is the major tension of this finale. And it's done so fucking well. And I love the bit where she's just like, it's the right thing to do, basically. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of gives him permission to do this with her eyes. And it's devastating. But the nurse tells Gemma to get dressed. She's starting to get pretty rude.
Get out of here.
They're so close. Just do it. It'll be fine.
Put your shoes on.
It's a great jacket. You look great. Look at that face card. And then so Mark and Helly are still talking about what can maybe happen. Maybe that will take down Lumon. And Helly's like, we could do the combining thing, What if he's not a liar? You'll have a chance at living. Like, she wants him to have a shot if that's true.
But I want to live with you.
No.
Stop it, Steve. I wasn't going to say that part because I don't want to cry on the pod.
Oh my
People
God.
make fun of me.
I've watched this episode twice. That line wrecks me every single time. Every time.
And she's like, it's not going to work. I'm her, Mark. And I'm going to cry, but these motherfuckers online are going to ruin it. Because they're going to be like, that's what she meant with I'm her, Mark. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
It means she's Helena Egan and Helena Egan will never let her out.
Yeah. No, that means she's her right now.
Yeah, she's Helena. Yeah, she's confessing, guys.
And he says, okay, and gets cooking on the numbers.
Clickety clack.
It's time to scroll this bally thing and click B every now and then. Maurer and Drummond are watching with bated breath as it clicks to 98%. Ah, hey, ha, ha, ha.
I'm so excited right now.
I'm going to
so
use
fucking hard.
I'm going to talk monosyllabically. I just learned that word, but I'm excited. And Dylan's Audi has responded, Milchick says. And this seems really funny. I'm curious how you guys interpret it. It looks like he's super scared of Dylan's reaction, but I guess he was just really in a hurry to get to dress rehearsal.
Yeah, when he fucking sprints out, I laughed out loud.
I know. I was like, Andy loves this joke.
I think that shot is sped up slightly because the quickness is unnatural, but it's so funny.
Nah.
He's like,
Jamel Tillman's just a fucking athlete.
because
Have
this
you seen
will
that guy?
elicit an embarrassing response, and I am duly swamped. I will leave you to it alone.
He does like this slow push of the envelope and then fucking bolts,
And then
dude.
sprints.
It's so
Dude, because
awesome.
Milchick has at least 3 outfit changes planned for the next hours, and he's got a schedule to keep, you know?
I cried way harder here than even watching Mark and Helly talk
I
just
cried
now.
here too.
This is crazy work. Because he's like 3 points, right? Number 1, fuck you. That's my wife and my
Dear
beloved.
Annie, fuck you.
And this is what broke me.
It's deeply indecorous, Chris.
But number 2, I get it. She's perfect. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like,
It tracks that you'd agree.
because we're, what does he say? Anatomically similar or something?
Or shared physiology.
Because of our, anatomically it's kind of gross. Because of our shared physiology. We both have a dick. I get it. And he says, I've never been an impressive person. And she told me you're like this self-assured badass. And it hurt. But number 3, I hope someday she sees in me what she sees in you. And I like knowing that you're there. If you want to leave, you can, but I think you should stay. And if you look, the deny and approve boxes, neither is checked. So he leaves it up to any Dylan, which is a really good thing to do.
It's so good. And the way they cut back and forth between any Dylan reading the letter with the cold color grading of Lumon and then going to Audi Dylan with his family and got the warm color grading. It's just, I don't know. It really accentuates that moment really well.
And what you said earlier in your opening statement was so brilliant because it was something I felt but didn't think consciously that I was totally going to steal. But they do have like one of the crazy genius layers to this finale is the greatest hits component of it.
Yeah.
You know, with the musical dance experience, but one upped and Dylan being Dylan fighting Milchick, but one upped, you know, and there's probably more too. But there's like, this is a fucking finale, you know?
The running through the hallways, but one up.
We got hallway running. We got Miss Casey action.
We got brand of goats.
That's right.
We got everything you want.
Milchick is taking off his tie and running. Mark is working and working. Helly's witnessing. Witness me. Mediocre. And this is so good. She's like, I was trying to think of other places I'm aware of. And part of me is such an asshole. I was thinking from Mark's perspective, I'm really trying to work here. And you know what I mean? Like there's a moment of like, but she's like, I thought of Europe, Zimbabwe, and the equator. And Mark's like, the equator? Is that a building or a continent? A building so big it became a continent. And it's a moment between them, but it's also beautiful symbolism because all they've ever known in life is this building. And to them, it's so big that it is a continent. It's their whole life.
Yeah.
And it's just brilliant symbolism. And he says, I just wish we had more time. I can't even fucking talk about this episode.
It's so good.
And he looks at her as he finds the last numbers and he doesn't want to click the button. She pulls out the MapQuest instructions to the dark hallway and walks to him. And she says, she looks at it. At least it's a happy one.
Oh, man.
yeah.
That fucking broke me.
Stop. I don't know if there's any significance to those numbers specifically, but I wrote them down. I don't think it matters, but
I don't know either. And then she slides the directions to him.
6309. It's weird.
8375.
There we go.
3099.
I did it wrong.
637.
No, it's 854-370-527. But they click it together, kind of. Hit the B for bucket, I assume.
I thought it was bin.
Because
Dylan, I think in season 1 goes bin it or something like that.
That makes sense.
It could be bucket. I like bucket better, actually.
Control V.
Hit that, Mr. Bucket.
Fuck. Again, me, I would click the wrong button.
You hit delete.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Sorry, Gemma.
I lost everything.
You killed her.
I was so disappointed that we didn't get a little 16-bit video of him flying off the mountain. I love you.
No, we got it live.
I don't know. We got a live performance.
We got it live,
I know. I just
dude.
enjoyed that so much last time.
I love you. I think that music cue from that little animation is the music cue that the computers boot up with this season. That I thought it was kind of funny.
The file hits 100% and Drummond says, "Call Mr. Egan." The MDR lights turn off. I thought it was gas to kill him at first.
I did too.
I was like, oh, fuck, this is not in the plan. But it's just a smoke machine. And then Kier kicks into action like fucking creepy Chuck E. Cheese, dude. Thank you for helping me get closer to my grand agendum. You are now one of the most important people in the world.
Revel now in the fruit of your labors and hail your earthbound steward.
The floor manager. And it's Milkchick.
Dude, when they cut over to that and he didn't come in right away, I was like, oh, Milkchick's not going with Lumon's plan. What's he gonna? And then he comes through like a split second later. But I was like,
he was late from Dylan's thing.
That is something. I was given his arc this season. I was surprised that he was going along with things as much as he does.
That's not complete. I did expect, and I was wrong about his full rebellion happening, unless you count Devour Feculence.
Yeah,
but I did expect something.
But
that was an amazing moment.
That's
bigger
just
than
a
that.
Season 3.
Yeah,
moment,
season 3. Milkchick fights back will definitely be a thing.
Yeah, because Milkchick's and Mr. Drummond is the source of his unhappiness at the moment, and I think only this is the first time when the robot Kier is given.
Well, who's
shape.
voicing the robot?
Is it
Drummond?
I assumed it was Drummond. I don't know for sure, but like now I think this is laying the eggs where he's going to be like next season. Like, okay, this is a whole systematic thing and not just my immediate superiors disrespecting me.
Agreed.
Because he kind of took back his power with that scene with Drummond last episode. Like Devour Feculence, he's taken back his power, but now he's losing it already again.
Yeah, well, it does seem like it's Drummond with you're verbose. Good thing you didn't write that, all that. And Milkchick does not laugh.
Yeah, when he does the thank you, Seth, and like the voice has changed and stuff, I was like, oh, okay, that's Drummond.
Yeah. Because he's like, the larger than life joke was great. Like, by that you mean that you're 5 inches taller than you actually were, right? Right. It's so good. But then he calls in
to receive your barbs.
Yeah. But he calls in choreography and merriment, which we find out is a whole other department. And it's like this Lumon marching band playing their hymn, but like a happy marching version.
This whole scene, starting with the robot up through the marching band coming out, is a fever dream of the best order.
It's fucking wild.
What is this? I love it. It's so weird.
Especially how they continue playing throughout all of this crazy shit. And then like it's kind of like a score to the other scene. Like when it cuts to Drummond going in the secret door and stuff, you can hear the marching band, but it acts as like this really like the fucking orcs marching. You know what I mean? Like it's awesome. It's awesome. It looks like meat's back on the menu, Ellie. But yeah, the band comes out. Pop and Gemma is now dressed. And Milkchick is conducting.
I love it so much.
I knew Steve was having the best time.
That was his second costume change. Because now he's got a white coat and gloves and shoes.
I'm grabbing another egg and I'm going to take an opportune moment to pop it.
Oh, pop it. Pop it like it's hot, my friend.
Okay.
But I love the different ways they film the marching band. There's like a couple shots of like, it looks like a GoPro that's on one of the drums as they're kind of like rhythmically thrusting their hips. And you see Mark and Helly back to back, all confused, and it's just a really well shot situation. And then I love how they spin the desks at one point because they've got choreography and merriment, and then they throw up the like signs that you see in sports games.
I actually that was the only part of the scene that I didn't love because it was aimed at the camera, and I was like, they're making this sign for nobody. You know what I mean? And so that was the only one where I was like, but other than that, I fucking loved the marching band scene. It was fucking great. It was just when they hold up the Mark 100% thing, I was like, oh, come on. It's just pointing it to the audience, I guess.
That's Jay Megan they're doing that for.
Oh, I guess.
You know what I'm saying? He's watching on the cameras.
Marching bands.
I was going to throw my candies if they didn't do it.
I hope they play the Ballad of Ambrose and Gunnel next.
Yes!
Yes, my playlist made it.
Because Gunnel is an
When does WAP happen?
Gunnel's an Egan we just found out about in episode 9, right?
Oh, the Gunnel Egan.
The Gunnel Egan Empathy
Yeah.
Center.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't think we've ever heard of Gunnel before. Because in this episode, he's like the Ballad of Ambrose and Gunnel. And the way he says it, it was like, okay, well, Gunnel Egan's going to be like a thing, I guess.
I thought that was just the name of a song.
No, those are Egans, Ambrose and
Right.
Gunnel. Yeah.
Did not catch that.
Well, that makes sense because it was the Gunnel Egan. What was the
Empathy Center.
Empathy Center? Because Ambrose is Kier's direct son, but that was the black sheep of the family was Ambrose.
So maybe Gunnel was the person,
like just another black sheep of the family, I guess. I
or
don't
somebody
know.
Ambrose married or something.
Maybe.
Who knows? But that's what happens, baby. James takes an elevator to like this just computer tiny room. And Dr. Maurer.
That seems like torture for an old person. Locking them in a room with
How
a
do you
computer.
Figure out how to turn it on.
I need to check my email.
I deleted my PC.
Power on, power off. Damn it. Dr. Maurer says welcome over the voice box to Gemma. It's time for the efficacy test. And the Ballad of Ambrose and Gunnel, what we were just talking about, that happens now.
Song's fire.
And Helly asks to Mark, are you ready? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm real sick of this. Because they've just been real confused the whole time. And she says, see you at the equator.
No.
And then Helly takes Seth's walkie-talkie and runs.
It's so funny. This is kind of, I think this, if I have any criticism for this episode, this is the one moment where I'm just kind of like, Seth, you really don't think anything's up? Because he's like, his fucking bitch. Like that's the energy he's going with. And he's like, where'd Mark go later on? Like, come on, my guy, you know at this point.
He can't just let her take his walkie.
But if he didn't, he would just be like, my job is to make sure you stay here, Mark.
In
And I'm
his
gonna
defense, like in your defense, like I said earlier, how many times does this got to happen before they tighten up the ship a little bit?
If he had been like, not again.
But also, in
Oh,
his,
I forgot to tighten the leash today. Shit.
he has no way of knowing that he talked to his Audi at the Demona birthing retreat
That's
and
true.
Cobell and knows about Cold Harbor and knows about the hallway.
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't know about any of this shit. And what are they going to do? Go have sex again and O&D? He's thinking like at worst.
And honestly, Milkshake's probably more worried. Like, I've spent 3 months choreographing this shit with this department.
That's his biggest-
and you
Yeah,
are ruining my chance to shine.
That's his biggest upset moment. Is like these moments are supposed to be appreciated. Did you see that body roll he did?
Oh,
yeah.
dude, he's got moves, man.
I was fitting a bust. I was like, this guy.
Remember the Defiant Jazz dance we had talked about how that was more for Milkshake than it was for them. And that was his way of cutting a rug and letting loose and blowing off some steam. And he was so upset when it got cut early.
And now every time his performances are unappreciated, you know, and it's got to be galling at the very least.
The man's a snack, right?
But Mark dips out with the map quest as she's doing that. And she's like, she gives him the slip in the bathroom and is holding him in there. We see Dylan returning. He's walking in the hallways. Drummond is going down the dark hallway to the severed floor. Like he came up from there and he's walking out and he goes into some secret door right across the street, right across the hall. And Mark is running there at the same time. Gemma is approaching the Cold Harbor door. We cut to Lorne, Gwendolyn Christie, with the goat on a cart. She looks pretty upset, but she's taking it there.
She's got an outfit going on. She's dressed up for a ceremony. She's got some makeup on.
I swear I did not see her coming back. I don't know why, because it's fucking Gwendolyn Christie. But when she had her scene in the,
You thought it
what
was
was
just a
that, episode
cameo.
2 or 3,
Yeah.
I was like, they were just having fun with the goats.
Oh, they're bringing the goats back to some
This was
epic
awesome.
lore mythology type shit with the goats and Lumen.
But also still, the goat is still incredibly tangential, which is another thing I was right about. Like they were just going to sacrifice it. No big deal. It's not like they were like putting Gemma's brain in there or something like everybody was thinking.
To what end?
I tried to tell them.
To what end?
Helly and Seth are still wrestling with the door. And then we get the ultimate hero shit return of Dylan G. He pushes the. Honestly, this
And
is
he
so
used the snack machine.
This is
I hope
so
he had the
silly.
tokens.
But this was like this was epic to me. Like it's so dumb. It's just Dylan putting a vending machine in front of the door. But this is like it's like watching Troy or something at 11 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like fuck yeah, he did the vending machine. You know, like it's like this epic moment.
Patrocles, no!
Yeah. Don't hit him in the heel.
Enjoy this fruit leather, Milchek.
Yeah, so good, man. Gemma enters Cold Harbor, and then you hear like Maurer over the speaker enter the room, and it's empty in there, and it's just got the Cold Harbor crib, the crib that they took apart.
We were watching this, and I think Eric and I both at the same time said, "Oh, fuck you," when we saw the crib. Like, oh, this is so mean.
Yeah, this is like because all the other rooms have been uncomfortable or dark memories of hers, and this is like the darkest memory that they could test her ability to feel with. Like, if her separation, again, we'll talk at the end what this might mean for the company and what they're doing, but it appears to be a test of like, okay, if her Audi gets no wind of these emotions, then this shit is like impenetrable.
Yeah.
Seems to be what they're doing there. James is watching.
Oh, that's what they're talking about with the barrier holding.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I was like, what fucking barrier? What are we talking about?
Well,
here?
because when she gets back from the dentist, they're like, okay, your mouth hurts. Why do you think it hurts? You know, they're trying to see if she has any memory of that. Why do you think your hand hurts?
Yeah, they keep playing the I'll Be Seeing You song because that's a very important song to her and stuff.
And now they want to know
okay.
if her miscarriage, like the worst thing that's ever happened to her, is able to break through the severed process.
And then in that episode with the flashbacks, like she had such a visceral reaction to the sound of Mark tearing apart the crib and dismantling it.
She left.
And that's why she left. Yeah.
And then they say, "Who are you?" And she says, "I don't know." So then we cut to Lorne with Mr. Drummond in the little room across from the dark hallway. Mammalian's nurturable brings an offering. Has it verve?
Has it wiles? I love how he's at the door.
Bring it in.
He's at the door as if she was like,
Not
no,
really.
Not really. He'd be
Take
like,
it away.
all right. We don't want any. And just goes to the door.
It's ceremonial, Steve. And he said, "This beast will be entombed with a cherished woman whose spirit it must guide to Kier's door. Is it up to the task?" Then he gets this little, the cow killer thingies. What are those called?
Yeah. I don't know. A euthanasia gun.
Sure. Sure.
The AK
I was
euthanasia.
just immediately thinking of No Country for
Yeah,
Old Men.
exactly.
As soon as he busted that out.
He looks at the goat and he's like, called it.
Called it. Exactly. Damn it, you stole my joke. I was prepping for that all morning.
I'm sorry.
But she's like, "Yeah, this goat's the goat." And he's like, "Then give me its life," and hands her the little gun thingy. And Gemma is supposed to take apart the crib. We find that out. Seth is fighting back hard on that vending machine. And Drummond is droning on about Kier's eternal war against pain.
What's that mean?
To spoiler, I don't know. Mark can't get in to the room, the dark hallway room. His card obviously doesn't work. And Lorne is starting to get upset. She's fighting back for the goats a little bit. How many? How many what? Fingers are you holding up? How many more must I give? As many as the founder requires. Or calls. Yeah, you're right. Mark,
But they can hear Mark and the other like, motherfucker, he's got a damn door.
he's like kicking the door and shit.
We didn't plan this out very well.
And then Drummond catches him and Mark's like, "Oh, wrong. This isn't the bathroom."
Oh man, wrong door.
And then he just, punches him so matter-of-factly.
I love that punch,
That's
dude.
one of the most surprising and weirdly satisfying punches in cinematic history.
And he's like this big beast of a man with this goofy fucking Quaker haircut, slamming him into the walls and shit. And then Mark bites him.
At one point, he grabs his leg and he uses his body as a fulcrum to just launch Mark into the wall.
He does like almost a suplex at one point. Like, this is wild.
I never thought we would get like knockout, drag out brawls in the hallways on Severance.
Yeah.
And
it's
Drummond
fucking
begins choking him. Lorne comes out with the gun and stops him. No more killing. But then Lorne and Drummond fight. And because this is Gwendolyn Christie, you're like, fuck yeah. Because we've seen her take down the Hound.
Oh, yeah. This is a Hound fight for sure.
And right after the finale of season 4, watching this was like, yes.
We just watched the Hound versus Brienne of Tarth this week. So this again, hearing the Gwendolyn Christie screams as she's like punching him.
She's so good at the physicality of these fights.
Yeah.
It looks like she's really working her ass off to try to, and she's hitting him with the fucking bows at the end and shit when Mark's holding him with the tie. And she's about to blow his brains out. What made this later moment so good and why the writing is genius is when Mark stops her, you're like, fuck,
come on, man.
Ruined it. You know what I mean? Because fuck that dude. You know what I mean? Why? You know, it's so frustrating.
But Mark doesn't like killing, you know?
I know, like it makes sense as a human.
Yeah, but you want that guy
as a viewer,
for sure.
As a sadist viewer, you're like, fuck
He's
her.
just gonna turn on you the first
bastard.
chance.
Yeah. And a lesser show would have had that be his downfall or like create a conflict later.
Yeah.
But it's just a setup for the best moment of all time.
Yeah.
We cut to Gemma. She's still taking the crib apart. And this is where Mauer says the barrier's holding. She feels nothing. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
And
Sweet,
Kier's
beautiful nothing.
James watching like, yes, good.
I will be having raw egg tonight.
To celebrate. Mark goes into the hallway with Drummond as like a hostage. That's how he gets in the door. He thanks Lorne.
I love this.
Emil
This
thanks
delivery's
you.
so funny.
That's
Emil
the
thanks
goat's
you.
name.
Oh, okay.
Cool. You think she named it after Emil Hirsch? Like she's a big Girl Next Door fan?
Yeah, she loves that. She loves that movie. Yeah, okay.
I almost named it Alicia Cuthbert.
And too much probity.
That's right. That was a good joke. It's because of my favorite value that I cannot see it. Probity? Vision. So as he goes down the elevator, he changes into Audi Mark, who then pulls the trigger because he doesn't know he's holding a gun.
Oh my God.
I fucking lost my mind.
Dude, seriously.
It's like
the
and he's
best
like,
fucking thing to happen on television in a decade. It's so fucking good. I'm like,
Amazing.
no fucking way. Like, I wanted to stop and start clapping. Like, just the writer's room. Fucking bravo.
Because he's like, listen here, in a second, I'm gonna change to my Audi, and you're gonna help. And then, like, as he's doing the severing process, I guess you like tense up for a second.
Well, and
then
Drummond is just like watching, like,
and then like Audi Mark's there, like, oh God.
This is like when Helly changed while drowning, like crazy to him, right?
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. I could talk the entire hour about just that moment and how fucking happy it made me.
So good.
But like we said, like from a writing perspective, it's how the doors to the elevator stays open so he can get back. Like it's great writing. It's how he gets the blood that he can get into Cold Harbor with. Wow, it's genius. But Mark's, and just the visual, because it's so white down there and he's covered in blood and he's running through the hallway. Like it looks so fucking striking. Like, I don't know if it's a Kubrickian reference, what we get with the red and stuff later.
It's very Kubrickian.
But he sees the file names and he knows to look for Cold Harbor on the doors. Helly and Dylan are still fighting with Seth. And the marching band is still doing their thing for some reason because they got one job, I guess. They're going to do it.
They've been planning for this performance all quarter.
And the band is like offended that she took a tuba, you know, or multiple tubas. It's like, hey, man, those belong to choreography and merriment.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I think I might be moving a little bit earlier, but because Gemma's almost done making the crib, but then it cuts to the band again, and Milchek says, "Return to your department," and the one guy and the one band player is like, "Fall back! Our performance has been compromised."
And then Helly gives a speech to choreography and merriment. She's like, you know, you could be next. They just take whoever they want. They give us half a life and think we won't fight for it, right, Milchek? Oh, it's fucking epic.
I love how, because she's probably meaning like, yeah, that you'd think that about us, right? But to him, those words probably mean something else because he's like, oh, they do kind of do that to me too.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He's just an employee that they shit on. And Mark finds Cold Harbor. He runs into the nurse.
This is the best.
Who gives the best because this is how we're used to seeing this actor.
Step off, fucko.
Fucko, yeah. And then they just scream at each other. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. It's so... And he's got the gun that doesn't do anything anymore. Because I think it's not a bullet, but that's like a little CO2 canister, I think. So it's not going to do anything. He's just like, ah.
I love how like as she's running away, she gets one last fuck you in before.
Yes. It's amazing.
It's the fucking spouse.
He tries the little stabby finger trick and realizes what it's doing and realizes that he has Drummond's blood on him. So he puts the tie in there and enters the room. Gemma has one little piece left. He got there just in time. And then Mauer is like, oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
And he's like, I'm your husband. Because she's like, who the fuck are you? What the fuck? I don't even know who I am. Who the fuck are you? Why are you? Is that blood? Do I know what blood is? And James is watching in horror, and Mark explains we had a life together, and she finally does grab his hand while Mauer's like, "Don't touch him.
If you come with me, we can get that life back."
Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck.
I'm gonna throw so many tins of candies.
Give me my candies. Mauer begins running. He runs into the nurse. Get Drummond, right? It's the fucking spouse.
I love Mauer's dorky run. He looks like a guy who does not ever leave this floor and never breaks into a run and forgot how to. It's such a great small little character choice.
My notes are leave the fucking room, Gemma, because she stops at the precipice of turning back into real Gemma. And I was like getting so edged. Like, dude, if they ended here or something, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. But they do. They release me. They give me sweet, sweet release. She walks through, comes Mark, and then they embrace.
Oh, yay.
The alarm goes off. It cuts to Helly, who sees the alarm and kind of looks satisfied. Like, yes.
He did it.
I'm getting chills just remembering it. Milchick is like looking in the mirror, summoning the strength of an angry middle manager. Like these motherfuckers.
There's nothing more powerful than the anger of a middle manager.
Mauer screams, "You'll kill them all."
Yeah. Ooh.
Does he mean all of the Gemmas that he's in love with?
Yeah, I think so.
Steve, have any different thoughts?
I didn't think of it at the moment, but I like that read. I think that actually is probably what he's referring to. I just thought like maybe there's some other nefarious thing at work, like you're going to get all the innies killed by doing this. I
thought that initially, but as I said it here, I think it means the 24 Gemmas.
I like that
he's been hanging out with.
I like that.
My ladies. They become.
You can take Gemma away from me, but don't you dare take Christmas Gemma away from me.
I love watching her write thank you cards. I love that they become Mark and Casey while they're while they're making out.
Yeah, they finally have that beautiful we're
it's
together,
so passionate,
kiss, and then they separate. Mark S. That's what's taking place.
That's the last time Audi Mark saw her. Whenever he comes back, he's not gonna. He was just kissing her, and now she's gonna be gone again. Mm-hmm. I assume he's gonna be a captive of Lumon. We'll talk about that soon. We're almost there. Yeah, they become Miss Casey, and Miss Casey goes, "What's taking place?"
Do it again.
She didn't hate it, right?
Right.
She didn't hate it.
What's this feeling? And then Seth is power running and hitting the vending machine over and over as Miss Casey and any Mark are running through the hallways. Dude, that jump from Seth is fucking epic.
Oh, when he pounces on it,
yeah,
and kind
that's
of
like
raises.
A super villain like move.
Yeah,
it's like
devour feculence, Spider-Man.
My note says "go right now." Where? But I don't know who says that.
Oh, they make it to the threshold door, and Mark is telling her,
"Get out of there!" Yeah, and where?
You have to go right now.
Dylan is there with the whole marching band staring at Seth. Fuck you, Seth.
Fuck you, Mr. Milchick.
And
it seems like merriment and choreography are down for
they're about to choreograph a can of whoop ass on his ass.
Yeah, they are.
Gemma's outside. Like, Mark, come on. Because now she can see her fucking husband standing in there. She has no concept of why he wouldn't come. It's so brutal. He hesitates. Then Helly's behind him, and he's symbolically between the two. Mm-hmm. His Audi's wife and the love of his life.
This is fucking genius.
It's so good. And then he walks back to Helly, and Gemma has to just like process this. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And it's another woman, and it's so painful. And the show is mean.
Screaming at my screen. I'm like, no, she's right there.
But also, it's brilliant, and like you totally understand any Mark. You know.
I kind of wonder if Gemma knows who Helly is, or at least who Helena is, because there's that one shot where she clocks that she's there, and there's a little bit of a change in how she performs and tries to get Mark out. So it makes me wonder if she's like, "Oh, that's the woman that tricked me to get down here. Don't go there, Mark. Don't go there, Mark." I wonder.
I lost it when they're running through the hallway, and the soundtrack is so good, and the red and the white with the lights.
Yeah. Recreating that opening shot of Mark from the first episode running through the hallways.
But now he's got
and
Helly.
The camera is chasing behind him. But yeah, now it's red and he's got Helly. It's fucking dope.
Is this like a North by Northwest reference or something?
It's a Thomas Crown affair.
That's what it is.
The Windmills of Your Mind is a song from the Thomas Crown Affair. It won Best Original Song in 1968. This is actually a cover of that version. This is a cover done by Mel Torme. The original song was performed by Noel Harrison. But this whole sequence is very 1970s cinema.
Yes,
like because
that's why I thought
and then they do the
60s, but yeah,
60s. It does like the freeze frame, kind of like the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid ending, and it like zooms in on the still image of the free frame.
I fucking love it so goddamn much.
Oh my god, I loved it.
It's beautiful, and I sat and listened to the credits song for a good while.
There's even a little bit of a hint, I think, of The Graduate in the last scene when they're holding hands running, because
she smiles and he doesn't.
They look weird. They look at each other. They smile, and then they look away from each other, and then they both look like, oh fuck. What do we do? Which is
that's
very
a brilliant pull.
Which is very how The Graduate ends.
That's one of the greatest endings of all time, because they're like, we did it, and then they realize like we're just we're young kids with no money.
Keep
and
the camera
this
rolling.
Is dumb as shit. Yeah. You know how they shot that? Like the back.
What do you mean?
The Graduate?
I mean, I know how The Graduate ends.
No, yeah, but the director didn't tell the actors.
Oh, yeah. He just kept the camera running.
And
yeah, absolutely.
Like, okay.
We ended it.
And that it creates this brilliant, like, oh, fuck, what are we going to do for the rest of our lives? Maybe this was a mistake. I don't even know you that well. Effect to it. And you're right. It does do that. God, it's good. Is this the best thing ever?
I think so. I fucking love it.
This is when I say how frustrated I am. It's because of the character decisions, not how it was done. The execution was fucking genius. I'm just like, no,
go out there with your wife, Mark.
No, I get you're supposed to feel that.
Yeah.
But from that perspective, it's like, God damn.
And then another like little layer to this is the Thomas Crown Affair is about people.
I don't know what that is. Is that a movie?
It is a movie. There's two movies. There's a movie in 1968 and then a 1990.
It's a Pierce Brosnan one as well.
Pierce Brosnan remake.
Okay.
It's basically a rich dude commits some sort of crime. It's different in each movie. Commits a crime like a heist. And then there's a woman who represents the insurance company that's trying to figure out who stole it so she can get the money back. They have this like love affair relationship. That's a fair. And then he basically like uses her to pull off another heist, but there's like an open-ended, like you can join me or you can turn me in. And I can see the ripples from that story in this situation with Helene Mark as well.
And that's the end of season 2 of Severance. How are we going to choose our Kier's 3 mandates, dude?
Dude, I don't know.
Our top 3 favorite moments are coming up. But first, take a quick break to hear a word from one of our sponsors.
Hello, Stream Fiends, as we march into the vibrant spirit of spring, where new beginnings bloom and the chill starts to wane, we want to pause for a moment of gratitude. Before we wrap up today's episode, we have a very special tradition that's as revitalizing as the first day of spring, acknowledging our super patrons. These incredible individuals support us at the $25 tier or more, nurturing the growth of our podcast like the March sun encourages the flowers to bloom. They are the roots of our community, ensuring that our creative endeavors continue to flourish. So let's give a special shout out to none other than Xander Barbarian, Aubrey Carell, Daniel Pack, Nice Guy Eddie, Taloon, Jordan Garvin, Albus Stinkpot, Haley Maddlestat, Susie Callahan, Anthony Corona, Jim E, Lady Trashley Milady, Sean Myers, Just Liz Calabria, Mike from New Hampshire, Brett X, E Scramo, Lil Tickler, Svento7, Jay Scramo, Blothpum, aka Ashley Ray, Adam Busby, Big Butthorn, Jer Latanovich, Kaylee Sampson, Rabbit Dog in a Barbie Car, Elpander, Charlie Friday, Alexis Adler, Peaches, Emmy, Haley B, Joe Velez, Trisha Bueller, Sun Loving Mortal, Suzanne Rode, Jadinklage Morgoon, Kalisha Reeves, Paula Garcia, Brenda, Aaron Armstrong, Kevin Strother, Ashley Powers, The Thrift Creeper, Casey McCain, and Enza. Thank you all so much for supporting Streaming Things all this time. And with that, let's get back to the episode.
And we're back. It's time to talk about our top 3 favorite moments of the finale. Andy, I do not envy you for having to go first. What is your number 3?
My number 3 is any Mark choosing Helly over Gemma, the ending. It's just fucking genius to bring back the severed threshold door, to have the two loves of his life on either end. And when he hesitates, I'm like, oh no, but I'm frustrated in the best possible way because it's just genius fucking writing. It's heartbreaking. The fucking Miss Casey is Miss MacGuffin, right? She's the, she's the one that they're all after. And they finally do the thing. And like you guys talked about in your opening thoughts about the episode, like that it had an arc and it did it fucking perfectly. Will they get her out? Yes, they do. But, you know, and the but is just fucking devastating and genius writing.
Devastating but.
I think about you every day, Crit Kit. So
Steve,
damn devastatingly good.
What is your number 3?
Dude, this is such a hard, like I can give you 3 moments and they'll all be a lie because every moment's number 1. Well, to be honest, there's a clear number 1 and then there's like everything else is clearly tied for number 2. And I'm having a hard time figuring out which ones I'm going to put on there. Just for the sake of diversity, I will choose things that Andy doesn't choose.
Okay.
Just so we can talk about other scenes. But I'm gonna say at number 3 is the Dylan writing to the innie and outie Dylan moment. Like that is such a tear-jerking moment. And you're right, like they have good reason to not trust the outies, because from their perspective, the outies don't see them as equals, they're shat on, all this stuff. And this whole season, you're kind of primed for like, oh, outie Dylan's going to be at odds with the innie one because of Gretchen. And it's like, that's my wife, you know? And I just love how outie Dylan is just he's just as good as innie Dylan, really. Like he doesn't have confidence. And that's the difference between the two of them, but they're just as good. And the fact that he's like, you know, hey, fuck you. That's my wife. That's really funny. But then it gets real. Like, but I get it. She's awesome. And you're great. And I like knowing that you're there. If you want to, and then he gives him the choice. And I think that's what the biggest plus to that is, because there is a read where you can be like, hey, I like knowing you're there. So I've made the decision for you to stay there because that benefits me. But that's not what innie Dylan did. He said that does make me feel better, but it's your choice ultimately. And he didn't fill out the boxes. And I'm almost tearing up just thinking about it because it's such a beautiful moment. That's my number 3.
That's my number 3 as well. I can't leave it off. I'm obsessed with that. It made me cry just talking about it on the pod. One of the few moments that did that. And I can't say it any better than you said, but we get 2 scenes of outies communicating with innies in this episode, which is really fascinating. And it's such a twist that outie Dylan is so kind and understanding to him. And actually kind of extremely vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you know, we all have parts of ourselves, things that we're capable of, that we're proud of, that we can't always muster. And just the idea that he's like, it's just good knowing that you're there. You know what I mean? Like that helps him. Like it gives him hope. Like obviously I'm capable of what you're doing because you are me. But I just can't fucking figure out how to get my stupid brain to turn off. And I think we've all felt that way. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's just deep, man. It's deep. And Zach Cherry, incredible work there.
Very phenomenal.
And you can see him just taking off his glasses, stunned at the end of that. It's such a good scene. That's my number 3. Andy, your number 2.
My number 2 is the birthing cabin with Mark and Mark going back and forth. Steve, I'm sorry, because I feel like that would have to be in your top 3. And if you're going to pick different ones than me, but it's just, again, conceptually, like only the show could do this. And they do it so fucking well. They're like, it's just 2 shots of fucking Adam Scott talking into a camcorder, right? And it's cutting to like the shitty little grainy screen. And like visually, they still managed to make it fucking incredible with like zoom into the camera lens and it warps and now he's outside and stuff. And then they do this crossfade where they're sitting in opposite chairs, but indoors facing one way, outdoors facing the other. And it's just fucking brilliant. And the shift in the stakes of like, oh my God, like that's my dude. That's my fucking, and they're both like that. And that's fucking genius. But then to flip it and have it be like Helene, it's like, ooh, you said it wrong, you know? And like, it's the subversion of like how I thought that this conversation was going to go was fucking genius. And like, no, I can't trust you. And God, the writing room, or if it was one person, whoever, bravo, just fucking awesome.
Steve?
Andy, I'm glad you brought that up because again, I have like 12 moments that could be number 2. So I'm glad you're bringing stuff up so I can talk about other scenes, because I'm going to say the moment that honestly just made me, I've watched it twice. I mean, I cry every time the Dylan scene pops up, but this scene, just for whatever reason, just punches me in the gut, is just that little moment when Mark and Helly are at the table. He's considering not just doing it. And she's like, well, hey, you'll get a chance to live. And he says, but I want to live with you. Mm-hmm. And then because they know they're being watched, that he can't look at her, and that little tear, and he's just trying to hold it together. His performance is so good there. Both of their performance, Britt Lauer, just her eyes are just emoting so much in that scene. And every time I just want to like burst into tears when that one line is uttered. And it's just like, these two kids, God, I love them. I want them to have that honeymoon ending. Cobell be damned. So that's my number 2. Kit?
My number 2 is Andy's number 2, the conversation in the birthing cabin. It's just such a fascinating thing. Like Andy said, that only the show could do. Any Mark talking to Outie Mark talking to himself. And specifically that moment where the video first plays and he sees that it's his Outie, and he gets just so happy and fascinated, like this window into another world that he's always wondered about, but never could possibly see. And yet here it is. And even though he's scared and confused, like, oh, this is wonderful. Oh, and he seems nice, you know, before the turn. It's just an all-timer great TV moment. And this episode is filled with them. That's my number 2. Andy, your favorite moment of the finale.
Now, Steve, I feel like we have to We All Everybody this. It's the fucking severing in the elevator with Drummond's gun.
I thought it was being a dick for putting that as my number 1.
No, that's my number 1 too.
It's so fucking good. It's so genius. You're like, holy fuck, they went there. And then like the chaos that ensues after it, when Mark becomes Outie Mark, he's like, did I just fucking kill a guy? Like blood squirting everywhere.
He doesn't even know that guy.
Yeah. It's fucking,
Who the fuck is that?
But obviously like the genius writing of like, and then he's blocking the elevator doors and stuff that you guys brought up. It's so fucking good. But just like I said before, and with my previous one, the Mark and Mark going back and forth, only this show could do this. And it's so fucking good. It's like whoever thought of it when they were writing it had to have been like, you guys. It's so fucking good, man. It's just genius fucking writing.
That's We All Everybody.
We All Everybody.
Yeah. Everything you just said. It's such an iconic scene, and only Severance can have someone getting shot in an elevator be the most shocking, hilarious, dramatic thing all at the same time. There's so many feelings just in that one moment, and it's just what a great punctuation.
And they did it in his neck, so it made it so much more like as opposed to like if he was holding it to his head, it just would have been oh my god. But like they just ramp it so fucking well.
It's great. It's one of the best moments ever. I love it so much. I'm so glad that I feel like less corny now for being like, I like the neck thing the most.
The neck thing is the funniest.
But also shout out the nurse. Fuck you. Ah! That's great.
Get out of here, fucko.
It's time to somehow pick a waffle party recipient. The last time we can do this for season 2, the best performance, our favorite performance, I should say, of the finale. Andy, who do you give the last waffle?
I give it to Adam Scott. I mean, he was front and center in all of my favorite scenes, and he's doing so fucking much, not just with like the back and forth of Outie and Any Mark talking, but like his moments with Helly, you know, like I'll see you at the equator and stuff. It's heartbreaking. The shit with the elevator, the chaos, the screaming at the nurse, the everything he does in this episode is fucking incredible.
Steve.
I am also going to give this one to Adam Scott. I think he's the one doing the most, like everyone's doing incredible work in this episode, but he's doing the most diverse set of things. Like that conversation with himself is so impressive because the way they shoot it, but also the way he plays the different versions of him so well. Like you really feel like these are two completely different characters, even up through when they're going up and down the elevator in the severed floor and changing roles at that point. And then, like I said, that little delivery of "I want to spend my life with you" it's just heartbreaking. And he's been doing incredible work all season. So I want to give him this last waffle party to that guy, Adam Scott.
I agree. We all everybody.
We all everybody.
Adam Scott. Shout out to Britt Lauer, but Michael Saberi, who plays James Egan, I think is a fascinating performance.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck.
Zach Cherry,
Olafur Dari Olafsson, who plays Mr. Drummond. I definitely didn't pronounce that correctly, but I mean, everything. There's so much like great character work and unique decisions throughout. But Adam Scott does profound work in this finale. And I do think it is the choice.
Well done.
Well done. He,
I love you.
he's helping me just for my grand agenda of enjoying TV. And he's the most important person in history, perhaps, right now. But that's the end. I know we're having a whole season 2 recap, mailbag, season 3 predictions episode. I mean, so maybe we don't want to get too in the weeds on what we think a lot of this stuff means or what'll happen right now.
I mean, it's a good way to remind people to send in their emails and theories and questions real quick, because by the time you hear this, we will be recording that episode in just like 2 days. So you have to be real quick on the turnaround to submit stuff for us.
Don't procrastinate.
Yeah.
Streamingthingspod@gmail.com is the name and the game.
Yeah. Pause this episode right now, write your letter, send it in, then resume.
Then rate and review the show, and then go to patreon.com/streamingthings to check out our Game of Thrones coverage, our Midnight Mass coverage. We're really proud of that.
ABP, always be plugging.
We know there's a lot of new listeners right now because of the Severance coverage. Welcome. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for joining us, even if you're not a big fan of, Game of Thrones and Yellow Jackets and Last of Us and stuff, which we're all covering very soon. Hopefully you come back for Severance season 3, but there's lots of other stuff. If you like the way we do things, I'm sure you watch TV.
Sure you do. Yeah, you got to.
God, I had a blast covering this. I'm excited for the mailbag. Anything else we want to say before we wrap it up?
I have one last thing. If you remember, the waffle party commences at the end of the day. The pre-waffle egg party has already been completed. So we have to do a little bit more before we close this out.
Did you hire dancers to come in?
I'll never tell.
Fuck yeah.
I think you guys deserve at least one last trip to wellness, though.
Just Erica in a goat mask.
So I'm going to give you a couple facts about your outies, because they're real incredible people. Let me turn on the stuff. But I'm going to give you 3 facts about each other, but at the same time, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready? Kit, your Audi always picks up a package from the doorstep with the perfect amount of fake struggle, just in case a neighbor is watching. Andy,
Yes.
your Audi can flawlessly estimate the number of pizza slices they can eat, but ignores the estimate and eats more. Kit, your Audi holds the fridge door open for an unreasonable amount of time, expecting an answer to the question, what do I want? Andy, your Audi... God damn it. Andy, your Audi confidently says, you too, when a cashier says, enjoy your meal, even when they aren't eating. Kit, your last fact, your Audi has a mental map of every public restroom they've ever used, just in case. Andy, your last fact, your Audi has whispered, don't fall, to a full cup of coffee while carrying it.
Don't fail.
And there's one last part of your wellness session I feel like we have to do, and that is enjoy our waffle party. Dancers?
Oh no.
What the fuck?
Yes. God.
So much.
You gonna hand this to Andy? How are you gonna make it?
Look at the dancers. There they are.
The tiny waffles.
Oh, fuck. You guys got tiny waffles and everything to enjoy. Hey, Kit, will you do me a favor and throw your waffles up into the plate so we can see on the cameras, just so everyone knows what they look like? Look at that. We got nice waffles and milk, and is that coffee?
Syrup, I imagine.
Oh, it's syrup. That makes sense.
Andy's pouring it on.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna eat this.
A shot of milk.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't give me one of those maple syrup cocktails.
He still has the dancers going.
We got Dread, we got Malice, we got Woe, and Frolic. Can't forget Frolic.
We should start a Severance themed strip club, and that's all the dancers are just named one of those.
Oh, that was incredible.
Serve waffles.
Thank
This
you.
is
Thank
amazing.
you.
The production value of this pod is off the charts.
I do want to say that had we still maintained our schedule of Thursday, Erica would have had a goat costume.
So now it's just coming for no reason.
So we made the paper dancers instead.
You could have fought harder for that Thursday record date.
No, I know you got stuff you got to do.
Not really. Just got to go see movies to make fun of. Wow. Thank you guys so much for planning this. And thank you, listeners, for listening. We're going to eat these waffles, but right now we're going to take a couple day break and see you back soon for other episodes in our mailbag. Thank you so much. We've got to go return some videotapes. My name is Kit.
Andy.
And I'm Steve.
And this was Streaming Things, Streaming Severance.
Happy streaming.